Hi, and welcome to today's episode of pianoTV. You'll notice I'm making a very charming fashion statement right now. We are going to be doing a video that's a little bit different. And it has to do with these funny headphones. And if I'm talking weird, I sound weird to myself. You know how headphones kind of muffle it? Anyway, so I am wearing headphones by a company called Halo Sport. And these things are used to electrocute your brain so that you learn faster, which sounds very scary when I say it out loud. But anyway, what I'm going to be doing with today's video is testing these out with learning a piece. Now, what I already did with February C was without headphones, I just relearned an old piece, and it took me somewhere like around 8 hours. You can check out that video if you want. Again, a piece that I'd already learned in the past. So I'm going to be doing the exact same thing, but this time I'm going to be doing with the brain zappy headphones, because I want to see if they help me, if I can learn it faster. Now, the one I'm going to be relearning, this one's called Marching Season, and it's by Yanni. I learned it when I was 15 or 16, so it's been quite a while since I've done this one. It's been even longer since I've done February C. And it's 12 pages, whereas February C was 9, so I feel like there's a little bit of a difference in terms of, I don't know, I'm picking the slightly harder one, I think, to use this with the headphones. So what we're going to look to see is if I can learn them in 8 hours or less, and see if I actually notice a difference in my practicing. So I just received the Halo Sport headphones in the mail, and I don't know if you can tell, this is a pretty giant box. There's hand for scale. So it's some really neat packaging. I actually have the headphones plugged in and charging right now. But it looks like you get a variety of things, like how to set everything up. This is instructions for how to configure the Bluetooth and everything. What's the bottle thing for? The spray and gel stuff?
For misting these.
Yeah, when they start getting old or something?
The gel.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to learn about these. I don't really know what's going on yet. But as far as I know, these funny... Oh, I gotta zoom in. These, funny looking teeth things go into the headphone and attach to the headphone, and it, touches your head and zaps you. Or something like that. We're gonna test it out with the song and see how it works, but...
They're really fragile, you're not supposed to touch them.
And here are the headphones plugged in. If you hear that beautiful noise in the background, it's my baby playing her beautiful music. Yeah, they're really nice looking headphones. They're pretty aesthetic. So they definitely have that going for them. I am excited to start trying them out. So this is the first time I've actually used the headphones. And what I'm noticing is they feel pretty uncomfortable. They have these zappy things. No, not zappy things. I'm not going to be doing a very scientific description here, but they have these panels that you put in water and then you attach to the headphones, and you kind of rub them so they're pressing up against your. Ooh, yeah, it does not feel comfortable. They kind of poke, they feel pokey. I feel I have needles in my head or something right now. It's not very comfortable. When you actually, here, I'll grab my phone because I have the app going. They have an app that goes with it. This is the Neuro Primer. So it's saying that for 20 minutes. I have to prime my brain, basically microwave my brain, and that's kind of why it feels so stabby. It's kind of warm, it feels kind of hot and uncomfortable on top of my head. But then after the 20 minutes, I can take off the headphones and then do my practice session. So I don't have to wear these for my session. They're just to kind of get my brain all warm and tender. But yeah, it is not the most comfortable feeling. I am very eager to take these off and get to work. Guys, I'm so happy those 20 minutes are over and I get to take off this torture device. It says ramping down. I don't know. I think that means it's cooling off or something. So I'm gonna take these off now. Oh, session complete. Oh, the wonders. Okay, so now it says start training now. And I have, sorry, oh, my phone is really dirty. I can see that in the reflection. It says something I have an hour to practice, to take full advantage of the brain stabbing. So let's do this, guys. Let's practice piano for an hour. Here we go. So I just finished 50-minute session. I couldn't quite make it to 60 minutes today just in terms of brain capacity, but I did get through all 12 pages today. I managed to play through everything, so I have the format in my head, and it is kind of coming back to me from being a kid. The last like 4 pages are pretty crazy, so I felt like I was kind of on a roll, but it's going to be a lot of work to get those last pages up to snuff. Now, I did also manage to memorize the first 2 pages, which for being the second hour of practice, I'm pretty happy with. So right now the clock's at 1 hour and 50 minutes, and we'll pick this up 2 days from now. So it's the evening time, and I got these headphones on. Are you sure these are on straight?
Yep.
You like, they feel like they're far, they look like they're far back from this angle, but.
Stand up straight, or like sit up straight. They're going straight up and down.
Okay, perfect.
Take a picture of them from the side if you don't believe me.
Jane's about to go have a bath. That's what was going on there. I am having some dessert right now. This is banana ice cream. And once I'm done my dessert, I'm doing like the warm-up thing where it warms up my brain literally. It's pretty uncomfortable, just like last time. And yeah, we're gonna have our second session. I'm really giving these a run for their money too, because I'm tired and like, you know, at the end of the day when you try to practice when it's later, it's like a little bit of brain frazzle. That's kind of what I feel like right now. So we'll see how well these work. You guys, I just wanted to check in because I'm actually kind of amazed right now. I have been practicing for like 15 minutes so far in my 4th session, and without like pretty much any effort when I was doing review of the pages I've already kind of learned and I'm good at, I memorized 2 more pages with like, I pretty much didn't try. I played through it and I was like, oh, this seems really familiar and easy. And then I kind of like put the page away, and then I could play from memory. So there's a few little things that I'm not memorizing. I'm not worrying too much about dynamics because I actually still have like an instinct for them, even though I learned this piece like 15 years ago. So that's pretty fine. But yeah, I just thought I'd check in and share that because yeah, I'm at the point now where I've memorized about half. Well, I've memorized half of it because I've memorized 6 pages, and that means I could lay the rest of the pages out on my piano and they would all fit, so that's an accomplishment. I've been spending the last half an hour on page 7, 8, and 9, kind of working through them. They're in really nice individual chunks, so it's been really nice to work on them. So I'm in the wrong octave. I haven't played this part in a while. I should actually play the part that I was working on. The rhythm in this is so funky because we're in 7/8 for so long, and then we go into 9/8 with 2, 2, 2, and 3. So like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's a really, really weird rhythm, but again, it's like it's coming back a lot faster than I would have expected. So we've got these headphones on again. I'm about to have another practice session. Jane looks at me really weird whenever I wear these. She doesn't even want to touch them. She's like, what are those on your head? They're my space age headphones, child. I know. Yeah, still feels about the same. I'm kind of getting used to the like prickly pain feeling. It's more just like, I don't know. It's like my head simultaneously feels like it's been in a really tight ponytail. I don't know if you're a girl, you get that maybe, but also like really like itchy in a hot way. Yeah, definitely not comfortable, but you only have to wear them for 20 minutes. So this is just like my 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna hop on the piano and start doing some warm up for my next session. So I'm nearing the end of my next session. I am approaching I'm getting pretty close to the 5-hour mark. I have 2/3 of it memorized, and 2/3 of it roughly up to speed with some patchy parts. The ending is still pretty brutal. I've been working kind of in the middle here. So it is Sunday morning, and I am putting on these headphones. It's doing like the priming mode, which is, sorry, I have a child at my legs right now. She's just like climbing up my legs. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention to you. I'm paying attention to the video camera. It's like, yeah, in the 10-minute priming mode, I got the familiar itchy, hot prickle feeling going on here. Getting used to it, but it's like not an overly comfortable experience regardless. I got some coffee on the go because it's, well, I mean, it's not that early in the morning anymore. It's like almost 9. But in my defense, I've already like been to the gym and had breakfast. I'm ready to go. So I'm about half an hour into my practice session, and I swear my memory is like on fire. I just memorized 2 pages of music almost by accident. And I'm a good memorizer, but this is a little beyond what I'm used to. So if I'm learning anything from this experience, it's like my memory recall is just fantastic. And it's hard to say if it's because I've learned this piece in the past and it's kind of like all coming back to me. But I didn't have this exact same memory recall situation with February C. So I did memorize it, but it didn't, like I had to work at it a little, where this is just like totally accidental that I'm memorizing it. These are the pages that I got memorized. Let's see if I can play them. Pages mostly memorized now. They're not like perfect, but they're getting there. So just finished my hour session. That puts me officially at 7 hours. And yeah, I only have 2 pages in front of me. That means I've memorized 10 pages of music. It's coming together pretty well. The ending is just kind of where I'm struggling. But that makes sense because the way I've been practicing this, it's actually how I don't tell people to practice, but I've spent the earlier parts of my sessions on the earlier pages, and by the time I get to the end pages, it's like the very end of my session. So because of that, not only am I spending less time on the end, but it's also at a point in time when I'm practicing when my brain's kind of mushy. So next session, I'm going to start from the end just to kind of combat that and see if I can pull it all together in 1 more hour. I've just pretty much come to the end of my next hour session. I felt a lot more deliberate this time. The nice thing about this piece is it's blocked off in about 1-page sections, so that roughly equates to 12 pages, 12 sections. So aside from the beginning slow part, which I feel pretty comfortable with, I really spent about 10 minutes per page deliberately trying to get things up to speed and working through more of my problem bars. If I was playing through an entire page, there might be like a bar or two where I really have a big hiccup, and that's what I was trying to force myself through. An example is near the end. Where you can hear that one little bar transitioning from one section to the next is a hiccup for me. So I really tried to, I'm working on ironing out those spots so everything can kind of come together. I feel like the piece is mostly up to speed except for just like a couple little pockets. And I haven't memorized anything else. I've memorized 8 out of 12 pages. But I don't know that I'm going to pressure myself to memorize the ending at any point in time because it all fits on my, like I can all put it up and it fits and I don't have to page flip. So there's like less motivation to memorize these last 4 pages. They're also harder pages too. I'm making progress here. And then here's again another hiccup spot. So the way I've been practicing that is just backing up a bar. Going slow, and I've just kind of been doing that as long as my consciousness stays strong. And eventually I can start speeding it up. Whoa. Right in that octave spot, another hiccup. Now, what I find is when I'm working through these hiccups, it takes me like a few minutes and I get better at it, but then once I like back up and play 30 seconds of music and get to that part, it hiccups again. And it's just like ironing a really, really, really stubbornly wrinkly shirt. You think you get it, but then it kind of recreases, and then you think you get it again and it recreases, and eventually you hope that you have like a nice smooth template. All right, I am wrapping up on hour 8, which officially puts me at the same time that I was at with the first piece. And it's pretty close. I've been closing gaps in my memory for the last hour, playing everything through. It's almost entirely up to speed with just a few little pockets. I suspect this will take another couple hours to really polish. It's not really at the polish stage. But it's important to note that February C wasn't at the polish stage either. Hi, baby. It was just at the point where I felt like I was ready to start putting it more on autopilot mode and let it marinate. And I'm pretty much getting to that point with this one too. So pretty comparable, but I'll talk a little bit. I'll play through the whole thing, flaws and all, and then we'll talk about it. Okay guys, I'm done. I'm packing it in. I just finished my last take. You can kind of hear we're getting supper ready and Jane's freaking out and putting it all away. But as you can tell, that wasn't too bad for 8 hours of work. Relearning a piece, I was thinking about it. I learned this piece when I was like 15 years old. And for starters, I didn't know I learned a piece quite that challenging when I was 15 years old. It kind of makes me feel like I haven't progressed as much as I would have liked to think in the last 17 years. But on the other side of things, since I learned it so long ago, a lot of this didn't feel like so much relearning as like learning a brand new piece. And clearly I need a lot more work on the end. That's one thing I was talking about earlier, and I'll continue to work through and practice it. It's hard to have a specific verdict with the headphones. I want to play around with them a little bit more. I think my next project is going to be I've timed myself learning some Bach preludes. So I want to learn a few Bach preludes with the headphones and see, because then I can compare them against the time that I spent learning the preludes in the first place. I feel like they must have made a difference, because one thing I was noticing as we were going was how quickly I was memorizing things. I memorized 11 out of 12 pages in this 8 hours of practice, which is better than my average. I still memorize pretty easily, but I found that to be a pretty big thing. So I'm curious to know what other things that I observe when I'm practicing with these headphones. But anyway, you can probably hear my husband and baby just like chatting this whole time. So hopefully you don't mind that we're keeping this last little chat casual. But I'll leave information about the headphones on the blog. You can click that below, and expect another video like this in the, I don't want to say the near future. I don't want to promise that I'm going to practice that fast, but we will do another one of these because it's been a really fun experiment. So give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next video. Work that requires the use of fine motor skills and do you hear that? Jane is just like freaking out in the other room.